Hello everyone, and welcome to my first video. This channel is all about travel experiences, and I can't wait to tell you about my most recent flight on Frontier Airlines. First off, Frontier is a low-cost carrier, just like Allegiant or Spirit, meaning they cut back on the luxuries to provide the most cost-effective experience for you, the traveler. If you haven't flown with Frontier before, they typically fly domestic, sometimes leaving the US. Based out of Denver, they have Colorado animals on the tails of their jets, which are mostly Airbus A320s, A319s, and A321s. But I'm not here to give a history lecture, so let's take off. No pun intended. This is also a good time to remind you to hit that like button and subscribe for future videos. I'd really appreciate it. I can't grow my channel without you. On June 17th, I was flying back to Colorado from Greenville-Spartanburg International. As I've mentioned before, the tickets are relatively cheap compared to other airlines such as Delta, which costs $700. My ticket costed roughly $320, including a $70 carry-on and stretch seating for more legroom costing $72. I arrived at GSP early and I went directly to security since I didn't have a bag to check. This is a smaller airport, so I moved right along, and before I knew it, I was in the main terminal. After grabbing a bite to eat and some Dunkin' Donuts coffee, my favorite, I headed to the end of the terminal where my gate was. A couple hours of waiting passed, and the gate agent finally got on a loudspeaker saying that our flight had been delayed for 3 hours due to weather in Denver. So, I put on my wireless headphones, turned on Netflix, and zoned out. Our airplane got in around roughly 8 o'clock p.m. That wasn't the problem. I think everyone was getting impatient and people had missed their connections, so the lines were forming at the service desk. I could tell that the gate agents were overwhelmed, but they seemed patient. Finally, at 10:30 p.m., we heard the engine start, and at 11 o'clock, we began boarding. The passengers swarmed like bees to get on, completely ignoring the boarding zones, which we had used in the past. It was a mess. When we boarded the Airbus A320, we were greeted by the flight crew and the animal poster on the wall, ironically called Miracle the Seagull. I don't think anything earlier was a miracle. In fact, it was probably the opposite. I was in seat 3A, which meant I had a window. You'll see some pretty awesome views later on in the video. As we began pulling out of the gate, the flight attendant cheered a bunch of angry, tired passengers up with a hilarious safety speech. I recorded a glimpse of it for you.
Put the vest over your head, bring the white strap around your waist, and insert this into the clasp. Pull to tighten. Once outside the aircraft, pull down sharply on the red tab or blow the tube near your shoulder. Your vest is also equipped with a water-activated light. Additional information regarding flotation devices for small children may also be found in your safety information card. Our cabin will be pressurized during flight. Should there be a loss of cabin pressure, 4 oxygen masks will automatically drop from the compartment above your seat. To activate flow of oxygen, pull the mask down towards you. Stop screaming. Place the mask over your mouth and nose and secure with the elastic band on the mask. May be adjusted by pulling on the tabs of either side. Please adjust your mask before assisting child or others. And although oxygen is flowing, the bag may not fully inflate. Federal aviation regulations require passenger compliance with all lighted information signs, crew member instructions, and posted placards located throughout the cabin. This is a non-smoking and non-complaining flight. There are 3 lavatories aboard this aircraft, 1 forward and 2 at the rear of the cabin. All are equipped with smoke detectors. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying lavatory smoke detectors prohibited by federal law. Anyone caught smoking will be asked to step outside. Will be featured in the movie Gone with the Wind. Even though we do drug her announcement, we do take your safety very seriously. We do thank you for your patience this evening. We hope you enjoy your 4-hour and 19-minute flight to Denver.
The flight was scheduled to last a total of 4 hours and 30 minutes. That's almost double the time of the flight here from Denver. But considering tailwinds and the alternate route to avoid weather, that made sense. Now in the air, there was still a decent amount of turbulence, so the seatbelt sign remained on. But anyways, let's go to the feature reviews. This A320 seemed relatively new, I'm guessing 2 years old, but the seat was not bad. It reclined a decent amount and was worth paying the extra $70 for. Fully stretched out, I could fit a hand in between my knees and the seat, roughly 1 foot long. Frontier does not have any in-flight entertainment, so I'd recommend bringing your own. I brought on my phone so I can watch Netflix, and I also look out the window like a total aviation geek. The seat pocket included a menu which featured the prices for all the beverages and snacks. Nothing's free except water on Frontier. I would recommend bringing your own snacks and drinks to save money just because the menu prices are on the steep side. The seat pocket also included a safety card, but not an airsick bag, which surprised me, especially for a turbulent flight. The overhead panel was easy, including a reading light, call button, and your own air vent. The tray table was much larger than I expected, but was a bit dirty, so I had to wipe it down. Since this was a shorter flight, I didn't use a restroom, but I'm sure it was in decent condition. I apologize, the time-lapse footage is a bit dark, but the lights will soon become apparent. During this time, I just wanted to say a quick thanks to the ground crews, gate agents, and cabin crew that had to stay over time because of the delays. They were all very accommodating for our needs. After we landed, we ended up having to stay an extra 45 minutes on the tarmac because they didn't have enough gates. That was on Frontier. I was a bit angered by that as I saw United jets going past us straight to their gate. I think one major issue with Frontier is a lack of communication. If everyone would just have communicated more effectively, there would be less mix-ups and we would not have gotten home at 3 a.m. Although Frontier doesn't cost much, I'm not sure I'd go back for the experience. The constant delays and mistakes are why they aren't getting a good reputation, which is disappointing because they are based out of where I live. In the comments below, I want you to answer the question, would you fly Frontier? It got me to my destination, but with a large amount of obstacles in the way. And I know I'm not the only one who's had this experience. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I worked pretty hard to get this channel up and running, and I hope you enjoyed my first travel review. I look forward to going on more adventures and reporting them to you. As I said before, make sure you press that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed. Please feel free to comment about any suggestions you have, and until next time, keep traveling.